Hey, if you ever felt like every compromise in your relationship slowly turned you into someone you're not, well, today we got the solution live. Coming up, a simple, practical rule for keeping your relationship and balls intact. True mother story, and it all starts right now, live on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Welcome to Mornings in the Lab, where
when something negative comes up.
Building muscle improves blood flow.
From squirting to squirreling.
Start small, build up, and expand from there.
Be entertained by fun over here.
How have I slept? Has my sleep been good? 7.
Doesn't come from breaking the rules, you guys. Hey, there's that sound on a Monday morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends, your live morning show experience. What are we here for? We're here to, we are here for real talk, motivating content, and entertaining conversation where we help you start your day right with clarity, accountability, and the perfect mix of chaos. Hey, standard reminder, guys, this is an R-rated experience. Yes, before we get rolling, I got some house rules for you. Boop, boop, and drop a comment. Come say, hey, Sullivan, what's going on, Sullivan? I see you Sully's out there in the community this morning. We want your opinion. That's what makes this the big morning show in the morning. Hey, we're talking compromise here. What's the number one compromise people could make to have awesome relationships, whether it's with your wife, your friends, your kids? We're talking compromise. And hey, just a reminder, guys, this is an R-rated show. So if there are kids in the room, either send them off during holiday week or put the headphones on. Hey, whatever you do, if you hit that snooze button, this is the week not to do it. Everybody's snoozing this week. I got something for you guys. There's a lot of people sitting back taking it easy this week. My recommendation, turn it up. Yes, turn it up. Set your alarm 9 minutes earlier. There's my tip and trick for you guys. Set your alarm 9 minutes earlier for the next 2 weeks. There's going to be a lot of people snoozing. You're going to be 18 minutes ahead of everybody as you get after it. Hey guys, coming up also on the show today, we got a bunch of great things to get after today on the big show. And as I said, R-rated experience. So if there's kids around, get them out of here. Hey, there's a story circulating right now on the internet that hits a little harder than most. The rise, the fall, and the quiet aftermath of success. What happens when the running runs out? Jimmy, what happens when the running runs out? Bob, what happens when the money runs out? Yes, the rise and fall of the quiet aftermath of Tyler Chase. Some news trending over the weekend, a young man who is, we're having a conversation. What happens when the money runs out? Yes, which brings up an unfortunate question a lot of people avoid until it's actually too late. Who are you? Where are you when the money stops and the attention moves on? Perhaps I can have some relatability to that. And also coming up in today's current conversations, the fitness world is finally getting tired of wrecking itself every 8 weeks and quietly shifting gears. Surprising study that has people arguing about cannabis in places you would not expect. We're talking cannabis here on the show today. And neurologists are side-eyeing weekend sleep-ins like they're just junk food for your brain. We've been saying it all along, guys. You can't do the weekend sleep-ins. They're kicking your ass. And somewhere in the middle of that, Elon is actually telling his team, AGI, right around the corner. Hey, then we're going to loosen things up with some fun. Yes, epic spot, because we got some fun stuff happening out there. Dumb shit awards being handed out today. And and what the fuck is this? Because every morning there's at least one thing that makes you stop and ask, well, WTF? Yes, after that, we're going to head to center stage for a transformative story. Clayton Townsend, a Texas roofer who hit bottom. And I mean more than bottom. I mean further down than bottom. Rebuilt his life. He turned that recovery into something bigger than himself, one scholarship at a time. He's helping other people climb out of holes that they didn't plan on falling into. And it's grounded, it's human, and it is the kind of conversation that sticks with you. Deep dive, today's main event, how to compromise. Hey, Jimmy, are you good at compromising? Neiman, are you good at compromising? I've learned from Johnny. It's not about It's not about winning or losing. It's about the results. We're going to get after today in the second hour, guys. How to compromise without losing your balls. Maybe the 60-40 rule. And it's not about he. It's not about she. It's about who. It's about what. It's about getting the results you both want. We're going to help you navigate through a conversation coming up in the second hour. And hey, guys, if we have time, new research suggesting that human evolution in a modern life are starting to not get into it at all. Nope, not get into it at all. We're going to roll into Did You Know with another interesting one. What 2,000 women say is the most attractive hobby a man can have in morning focus. Yes, we're going to zoom out for the bigger picture. 2025 is the year we stopped talking about it and actually built it live, messy, imperfect, and in public. We're going to close it up with the community corner. True story. Yep. Bottom of the hour with Maya Riz. Hey, it all starts right now, so grab the coffee, settle in, stay with us because this is the most fun. I guarantee it. I fucking guarantee this is the most fun you're going to have over the next 120 minutes. And you know what? Jimmy, Melissa, team, it all starts. The morning loop, it starts. It starts right now.
Even if you don't watch boxing, you heard it. Someone got knocked out and the group chat went feral.
Facts. Nobody watched the full fight, but everybody's got a thesis.
That's the part I love. One clip turns grown adults into experts with strong opinions and zero homework.
Same people can't commit to meal prep for 3 days.
By Sunday night, it's he's done forever or it was a fluke, like life only has 2 settings.
Extremes feel good. Reality is boring and still wins.
Now watch how fast that energy shows up at home. It turns a tiny issue into a full championship fight.
And everybody's trying to win, nobody's trying to solve. That's the trap. You keep scoring points and losing connection. Then you call it compromise when it's really just surrender with resentment.
So today's main conversation is about handling conflict without folding, exploding, or disappearing.
Practical, not performative.
Keith, John, take it from here. Let's get into it.
Good morning, nation.
Nation. Hey. You guys can join the show with us live right now. The comments are open. The community's open. Come say hi. Come say hi to Sullivan. Yes, come say hi to Jimmy. Come say hi to Melissa. Come say hi, everybody. And hey, listen, we're going to open up the phone lines as well. This is like 1985. Yep. 431-300-3005. We do have some phone lines that aren't right up here on the screen here. 431-300-3005. You guys can join the show with us second hour, 431-300-3005. We're going to get up and get after it nonstop here, guys. We'll open up those phone lines because, that's just what we do here on the show. Hey, guys. So last week, Elon told his team something that we want to lean into. Yes, Elon told his team that AGI is coming. AGI, what's that, Keith? Well, artificial general intelligence. Well, so listen, here's the thing, guys. We've been talking super intelligence, artificial general intelligence, human, all this crazy intelligence. And apparently Elon is saying that in the next year, he is thinking that AGI will be out as early as 2026, but it is a Here's the thing, guys. Hasn't Elon been saying that full self-driving has been out since, is going to be out like 15 years ago? Yeah, I don't suspect that might not be the case. And then this weekend, hey, Jimmy, get those Waymo. Jimmy, I put some of those videos in X this morning about what happened in San Francisco this weekend. So, guys, this weekend in San Francisco, a bunch of cabs went out as well. Waymo taxis lost power. Jimmy, check X, man. In the bookmarks, there's a bunch of stuff in there that I think you guys missed this morning. So this weekend in San Francisco, Waymo lost a bunch of their. I'm bringing this up because if Elon is talking about AGI happening in 2026, well, on the weekend Waymo lost a bunch of cabs. They all just stopped working. Power went out in San Francisco, and as a matter of fact, everything stopped. The funny thing is all the Teslas keep working. Yeah, the Teslas keep rocking and rolling away. They were just rocking and rolling away there. And hey, what's going on, Angry Man, today? Hello, friend. I must confess that I just woke up with a chubby. And I needed some jack material, and I saw your channel. Thank you for that. Hey, what's going on, Angry Man, today? Where are you joining us from here today? Angry, where are you joining us from today? I'd love to see where you're joining us from today. We're having a conversation about Elon talking about AGI and the big Waymo crash on the weekend. A bunch of Waymo cabs dropped and stopped working along the way here. So Angry, where are you joining us from today, my friend? We'd love to have you see what's shaking in your world here this morning. We got Johnny joining us here in the lab as well, coming up here in a few moments. as well. And we got Johnny joining in the conversation in a couple of seconds as well. Hey, Angry Man. So Washington, is that the state of Washington or the city of Washington or the country of Washington or what of Washington, Angry Man, today? We'd love to hear where you're joining us from. We got Johnny in the lab as well. I'm going to pull up here as well, guys. What's going on, Johnny?
Good morning, brother. How you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I am. We're good. We're in Pebble Beach right now.
Yes, I see that. I see you're in a different space. More importantly, how are you?
Definitely had a rough weekend for sure. But it's just part. I guess it's just part of the process, part of the game. I guess the first thing I remind myself, look, these are my choices. Second thing is there's a lot of discovery going on. I'm learning a lot.
Yes.
So, but it was just to kind of get up to speed. Unfortunately, I spent a lot of time on crutches this weekend. So it got to the point where walking by without, like, I guess to put it simply, I was taking a piss.
Yes.
Of all things.
Yes.
And when I'm taking a piss and normally you just stand there, you take a piss, you don't really think about it. And I.
Really? Are we going to document it?
Yeah. And so with my leg though, with what's going on with this nerve, it's like I have to be careful with how much weight I put on my right leg because it doesn't like the pressure coming up straight up the leg. I think it's anyway. So I'm standing there taking a fucking piss, and all of a sudden I go to move. I go to to pick my right leg up, and once I load the leg and I take the pressure off, that's where the fucking pain hits. And I call it trigger. Once it triggers, I get that fucking zap.
Yeah.
Then it's like I've got, sometimes it could be 10 minutes, sometimes it could be hours where it doesn't want to be messed with. So, dude, I've got this fucking massive trigger, and it was a doozy. It was like a shriek, like a little girl trigger, like one of those. And dude, I was stuck in the fucking bathroom. I mean, I couldn't put any fucking weight on my leg. And I found myself trying to hop on one leg out of the bathroom to get to the couch or anything else. And so that's the kind of shit I realized, okay, I need to be a little bit more prepared for this thing. And so that's what I realized, that, me not being prepared and me having moments like this makes it so much worse. And so I just have to I got to just realize this is kind of a full-time job for me to get this fixed now. It's not just, okay, I'm going to try to figure that. I'm going to kind of think that, try to connect all the dots. I'm still trying to connect the dots, but I can't let it get away from me because a situation like that, those turn into fucking like hours of fucking pain.
I'm envisioning you standing there like at the toilet. It's like fucking acrobats or something. You're standing there on your left foot. You're trying to balance on your right. You got to put one hand on your pecker to make sure it fucking hits the bowl. And if it's middle of the night, it's a soft chub. So you're fucking just
leaned over, hand on the wall.
Yeah, it's like a dance. It's actually like a dance, right? It's with yourself, man.
Yeah. The good news is there's always silver linings in everything.
That's what I'm learning. I'm learning that. Well, listen, we got a guest coming up on the show, man, that I at the bottom of the hour, that based on the notes that I've read, I think he will lean absolutely into what you said about silver lining for everything. Holy smokes. Go on. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was what I kind of, in the last couple of days, it's like, I didn't realize how much I wasn't really looking around me. Like just the stupidest little things. Like it's like, my schedule has totally changed because I just transport, so to speak. Transporting me from, my desk to the bathroom is a totally different drill now.
Yeah. Well, I got to be honest, man. I knew that you were on the road here today, and I was thinking about this morning. I was wondering. I listen. We were chatting this weekend a little bit, and I was been thinking about you all week, and I was wondering what the journey between 5 a.m. and 5:12 was going to look like for you this morning on how that was going to come together. I got to be honest with you, man. So I'm glad. No,
it definitely. It's a totally different drill, and I guess what I'm really realizing is this is fucking here. I mean, there's no question this is here for a reason, and it's just the littlest things. Like I'm like at home. I'm looking around, because I spend time, I'm forced to slow down, and I'm like, fuck, I'm looking around, I'm going, Jesus Christ, Taryn, I've done a great job with fucking redoing this house. Just little goofy shit like you know what you did.
Yes.
but you don't take time enough to fucking actually soak it up or even recognize sometimes. And
it's gonna be fun watching you try to slow down there, Andersen. I'll tell you something.
Well, dude, it's forced. There's no.
I know, but believe me,
it has to be like fucking debilitating pain to do it.
I'm going to watch you try to slow down, and we're going to document it over the coming weeks and months, and we're going to see we're going to see what your definition of slowing down is in the John Andersen world. I'll tell you something about slowing down, because we've been talking about this forever. And apparently there's some research. Neurologists are warning this. Hey, Petro, ears up if you're listening. Weekend sleep-ins may harm brain health.
Speaking of brain health.
Sleeping in on weekends feels earned. Yeah, until your brain treats it like jet lag without the vacation.
Your brain cleans itself on a schedule, and you keep moving the damn pickup time.
That trash just sit there longer. Foggy thinking isn't random, it's delayed cleanup. This isn't about grinding more, it's about rhythm. Same sleep time beats extra sleep, especially if you want your brain sharp at 70.
Dude, speaking of brains, my fucking brain stack, my brain fuel stack is fucking ass kicking.
Well, I bet, because
no, it's like, that's one of the cool things. I'm waking up, like, had I been dealing with this a couple of weeks ago, or whenever I was really beat down, this would have been like over the top, like fucking Jesus, like kind of like this I could see this almost, I don't use the word depressing for me, but I mean, it could have pushed me that direction.
Oh, believe me. I've been paying attention, brother. I've been paying attention, and you can read between the lines on that. So I've been paying attention, and I'm very intentional with what I do, and I'm paying attention to you, my brother, and I'm watching. So I'm glad to hear that about your brain is in a good space, because it needs to be, because you got a battle ahead of you, brother, and it's all going to come here. You know it as well as I do. It's all going to be right here, all here.
Yeah. Well, and the good news, here's what I found. The good news is this. Is that if I don't fucking trigger it, I can actually fucking get through a day pretty fucking well. Like
there you go.
I had like yesterday, because the last thing I wanted to do is fucking show up to my 90-year-old fucking mother's house for Christmas on fucking crutches.
I knew you told me that. Yes.
And so
make her worry, right?
Yeah. So like yesterday when I got up, I was really fucking careful. And unfortunately, it did start taking some leave, because that was like the one factor that would like knock it down enough. I know I'm generally speaking, I'm very against that stuff, but it keeps it from triggering. So this is one of the things I need to keep it from triggering. But I spent like yesterday, I didn't hit the crutches until almost before bed. As for the day before, I was fucking on them almost all day. So I do see the light at the end of the tunnel. That's
awesome. That's awesome. I'll tell you what, I was mentioning this comment about sleeping here. So sleep is serious business, as we know. Well, Johnny, each hour of social jet lag, like basically sleeping on the weekends, so people sleeping on the weekends, is associated with an 11% increase in potential heart disease risk, independent of total sleep duration. This study was published last month, actually found that poor sleep health accelerates brain aging with each 1 point decrease in sleep quality score, blah, blah, blah. Now, I don't want to get into the details. I simply want to lean into the headline, which continues to perpetuate the power of sleep. We talked about Otani last week, 10 hours of sleep. And it's just this idea that when sleep schedules vary, John, waste products remain in brain tissue longer, reducing mental clarity, period.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Period.
Well, and keep in mind, there's a version of that for our bodies too. Yes. With the food. Yep, absolutely. Everything. That's, speaking of which, that's another thing too, that I swear to God, everyone, the universe will just, if you work hard, you just believe the universe will work in your favor. So this client of mine, I think I told you about it. He's got this cannabis thing where he's cannabis sleeping, formula. Yes. So this fucking package from him in the mail, and it's his new version of his sleeping thing.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
30-day supply. And it came right kind of when this was hitting. So I was like, fuck, man, if I can get some better sleep. The first night I took that formula, fuck, dude, I woke up and I was like, that was fucking awesome. And that was like the first night of me waking up into, wow, okay, I feel like I can make some progress with this thing when I don't trigger it, you know, because
Yes.
I woke up and it was like a morning, like, fuck, I've never stood up and felt this good since this thing started happening. So to your point, my sleep improved because what's the part in cannabis? CBN.
Yeah, CBT and CBN. Yeah, there's and CBT is the big part. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's supposedly the active ingredient. But to your point about sleep, holy Christ, did that make a difference?
Well, hey, so we got a guest coming up here, man. I saw something yesterday. You're gonna trigger this. I got a conversation on Tyler Chase here in a moment. But first of all, Johnny, Clayton Townsend's joining us here in about 7 minutes or so. He made a post yesterday, dropped me on the floor. Here's how it starts. I hated God. I blamed him for everything I lost. John, my twin brother being murdered. My best friend having his life taken right in front of me. I didn't grow up in church. I didn't pray. I didn't believe. Coming up, bottom of the hour, Clayton Townsend, joining Keith and John. Mornings in the lab. And he's also sober. So he's had some addictions challenge, Johnny. I suspect John Clayton's going to fit quite well in with you and I based on the little highlights that I've seen about his life and his story. And I'm excited to meet Clayton Townsend coming up in a number of minutes. But before we do that, there's a video over the weekend here that has been trending. The Tyler Chase story. Now, I don't know if I would expect you to remember him. Jimmy, let's get this thing running here. So Tyler Chase, John, played Martin on Nickelodeon's Ned's Classified. You know, I know you and I grew up in Nickelodeon. I don't know how much we watched much of it, but there's a video trending. Look, he's homeless in California, and I'm certainly not putting this on here to make
homeless and not just homeless. He's messed up.
I'm not putting this up there to make fun of the young man by any stretch. Actually, no, I'm actually putting it up here to just kind of put out start a conversation about.
Oh, wait a minute. We'll go back to that picture. That was
yeah. Yes.
He was on. What was the TV show he was on?
He's been in a few shows, man. Yeah, he was also in.
Dude, there was a show he was on. I used to fucking love it. Somehow his character really spoke to me.
Yeah, so it
was a good wholesome fucking TV show.
You're right. He played Ned's Classified School Survivor, and there's also another one here too that I'm just trying to find it here in front of me here.
What is it?
But
I didn't watch that one, but it was fuck. Oh man, that's a bummer, dude.
It is, and again, I guess Johnny, I wanted to pull it on the screen because last week we talked about the really unfortunate situation with the Reiner family and mental health and losing loved ones. And you know, somebody out there is losing a loved one right now with Tyler Chase, right? Whether it's a family, whether it's friends, and the question really comes down to who are you maybe when the money stops. The guy was perhaps living a good life, making some good money, and when the money stopped, you know, it looks like he ended down a really unfortunate path. And it's sad, man. It brings out the humanity in me, and it makes me just want to. It makes you ask questions about how you can help and how somebody ends up here. Hey, John, like, was it bad guidance? Was it bad advice? How does somebody end there? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, there's probably a whole shitload of possibilities, but
yes,
unfortunately, it looks like some sort of fucking substance got involved when you look at him.
Yes, yeah. And listen,
there's that right there, man. There's no winner to that shit.
There is no winner to that. No, you're absolutely right. You know, so I guess maybe the invitation I have for our audience today is if there's somebody in your family or friend that you suspect maybe is going through some issues and challenges in life, maybe this week's a good week to reach out and check in and see how somebody's doing. And maybe, and I'll just offer this, John, because I've been through this, man. Just because people say that, I'm sorry, let me rephrase this. Just because people think you have a bunch of success, keyword think. Just because people think you have a bunch of money in your bank account, keyword think. Doesn't mean everything's okay. And sometimes when the money
does not mean okay.
Exactly, John. Exactly.
Money can mean you're actually pretty fucked if you don't know how to deal with that.
Bingo.
It's like having a fucking lion in your closet.
Right?
It's like did you maintain that closet to control that fucking lion, or is he just going to break through those doors and whoop your ass when he wants to?
I saw a wonderful video this weekend where a hedge fund manager put $20 on the table and asked somebody, says, "What is that?" He goes, $20. He goes, what do you feel about it? He goes, "I feel it's money." He goes, "Yeah, the money feels nothing." He goes, "It's just a piece of paper with 20 printed on it." Oh. He goes, "If I put a stack of these here, it's still a bunch of pieces of paper with 20 printed on it. Yet that money will fuck you up if you don't know the value of it." He goes, think about it. The money doesn't think about you. The money doesn't know you. The money doesn't care about you. It's a piece of paper with something on it. Yet that piece of paper with something on it fucks so many people up when they can't understand the value of it. Think about that for a moment, right? Like just the whole concept of that, right?
100%. And because for most people, it's scarce.
Yes.
And when you deal with scarce, I mean, when something is scarce, usually that's when something will fuck somebody up. When someone's got when someone has plenty of something, then it's usually fairly well controlled. You know,
I'd like to think so. I'd like to think so. I'll tell you what,
in terms of their, you know, like that I should say that it's controlled, meaning like the way that you see, the way that a person that sees $20 and doesn't have $20 sees that 20 very different than a guy that's got thousands of them.
100%. Yep, absolutely. Hey, so every time this year, I think we both cringe. Actually, I don't think you care anymore. Neither do I largely, but there's still cringiness happening where everybody's like, okay, heading into the next year, and people start talking resolutions and fitness fads. Well, finally, Andersen, there's maybe the industry you grew up would have done so well with is actually now talking about the fact that maybe the trend towards fitness, Jimmy, let's run this clip, is going to shift to sustainable workouts, John, instead of fads.
Every brutal fitness trend from the last 5 years just fell off a cliff. Turns out suffering isn't a personality, and pain doesn't equal progress. The stuff that exploded instead? Walking, mobility, low-impact basics. Yeah, because consistency beats punishment, and your joints finally got a vote. This feels like the end of fitness cosplay, and the start of training like you actually want to be alive at 80.
So, hey man, finally, just do something that's sustainable for you. And hey, just do something that's of your interest. So if you enjoy playing pickleball, play pickleball forever. Instead of trying to go to the gym and I'm going to do a fucking HIIT workout for 3 weeks and I'm going to be ripped. No, go find something of interest, do it for a long time. You're good to go. Period.
Dude, it's like you can only hold your breath for so long.
So it's, yes, finally, longevity over trends. The fad this season's holidays are, here's the fad, John. The fad for this fitness season is sustainability. So I don't know how the whole fitness industry is going to do next year by the time.
It's been a fad the whole fucking time.
Well,
it comes in, it leaves. It comes in, it leaves. That's why it's never here.
But I'm going to be laughing come the second or third quarter when the fitness industry is going, okay, we're done with being sustainable. What do we do now? We need to have a gimmick to get everybody excited again, you know? So I'll tell you what's exciting. Dude, not even exciting. Actually, how about ridiculous? Have you ever thought about hobby dogging?
I need to understand the definition of what that is.
Look on the screen. So hobby dogging is when you don't have a dog, but you want to go and walk your dog without a dog. And it's a trend in Europe. It's called hobby dogging for the modern man. It's a social skill where we're described as people walking imaginary dogs. And John, in these germ people in Germany are going out in public as if they're walking a dog, but without a real dog present. And this is true. This is not some fucking like social media stuff. This is actually a social activity for folks in Germany that like to interact with humans. And I guess I'm just going to say this to you. If this is your interest.
Dude, can you imagine standing there waiting for your turn, looking at the other guy standing there with a fucking leash with nothing in it? Hey, so what's his name? Yeah, what kind of breed is that? I don't quite recognize it. Is he the invisible type?
I was like, what the hell is this?
Dude. Jesus Christ.
But you know what, though? Dude. I had to put it up here because we've coined this, go find your interest, and it's not up to you and I to judge somebody. So if somebody says to us that their interest is hobby dogging, it's up to you and I to have a nice smile on our face and say congratulations.
You know, what I want to wonder is it really more about giving humans a way to connect that are having a hard time connecting. All you got to do is go fucking buy a leash and a fucking collar. And then show up to one of these fucking parks and run around like you got a fucking dog in there. Wait to get to the sideline and hopefully fucking talk to somebody.
Well, That's what I said too.
It's gotta be. There's gotta be more to it than what we're seeing here. It's like an underground thing. Like, there's certain bars you can go into.
Yes.
And everybody comes to that bar purely because they're looking for a mate to hook up and go have sex that night. But you don't know that until you've been in the culture. There's gotta be some culture we don't see.
Absolutely. And Holroyd says, yeah, Jimmy, we'll do dumb shit award quickly before we bring in the guest here. Holroyd says, why don't they just join a walking club? Yeah, then they can walk and socialize without looking nuts.
Walking actually has a real intent. There's more to there. This one there's some hidden culture here. I'm telling you. You know what I mean?
Man. Yeah. Well, so I'm talking about hidden culture. I got a dumb shit award for us before we bring in our guest here today. Jimmy, let's do a dumb shit award. Then we're going to bring in Taylor Townsend. Let's do it, Jimmy. Clayton.
Today's dumb shit award goes to the yellow sneaker RKO guy in the Bronx.
Not a prank, Frankie. Assault for clicks. He blindsides strangers on sidewalks, crosswalks, even the subway. Worst part, he targets people with a cane or crutches. One slam, one bad fall, real injuries, real charges. The feed moves on, your case file does not. Surprise violence is a gamble with someone's life. When it goes wrong, it is court, not content. Outcomes, charges, lawsuits, and a name that sticks. Followers vanish when you need bail money and a lawyer. See it online, do not copy it, consequences are real. That's the Dumb Shit Award. Back to Keith and John.
See you laughing.
God, dude. Oh my God. Well, first off, I gotta just okay. First off, what people don't understand is he's fucking he's legitimately landing.
I know.
Like that guy didn't because he was on crutches, but the other guy, he was legitimately landing on his fucking hip or his back on fucking cement. Let's watch this thing. Right here. This was a fucking bad foot. I mean, dude, just go and fucking jump up in the air and land on your butt. See how that feels on fucking cement.
Oh my God! If somebody did that to me, I'd be like,
if I was a dude with crutches,
yes.
Fucking grabbed a crutch and started beating the shit out of this.
Well, but I think when you watch this, people are so stunned that it happened in the moment that you're like, what the fuck just happened to me?
It's like if you're crossing the street and a bus is coming, you have a reaction to get out of the way. You should have a reaction to pick up your crutch and bludgeon this guy.
Oh my God. Oh my God. All right.
That is out there.
It's out there, Johnny. It is out there.
It's gonna fucking whoop this dude's ass. It might not even be the guy that gets fucking whatever he was. I think he was a Randy Orton move, wasn't it?
The RKO Randy Orton just
I think that's a Randy Orton move.
I know.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, hey, I saw a great video of Randy Orton doing him and some speed guy, and he was I forget it. I will tell you later. But hey, guys, coming up, riddle me this, Johnny. You're gonna get about a 90-second break, brother. If you got to sneak away for a second, riddle me this. What do you get when you cross a Texas roofer, a self-funded recovery angel, and a guy who thinks bonkers is a legitimate marketing strategy?
If you find yourself spiraling into the same pattern, no matter how many times you promise you will change, this conversation is for you. It happens to the best of us. Stress hits, you're tired, and you reach for whatever shuts your brain off for a few moments. Then morning comes, and you're back cleaning up the mess and wondering why it keeps happening. Some people don't just talk about that loop. They build their entire life around breaking it. That's Clayton Townsend, a roofer, mental health advocate, and content creator doing the work in real time. He's proudly 3 years sober and helps mend the hearts and minds of people facing addictions.
In the last year, he has helped 10+ people get their proverbial second chance by sponsoring their treatment.
And he did it with his own money, no sponsors, no investors, no big organization behind it. Clayton also runs a content and marketing business focused on short-form videos. He's also proving something in business. You don't need a huge budget to make short-form videos that get people to pay attention. Now here's building something new called SoberStay, a mobile app designed to support people through the tough moments.
He also has a different take on content. You don't need to copy trends from it. You need an idea that makes people stop scrolling.
But the reason he does all of it? He wants addiction and mental health to be easier to talk about for everyone. And it's fueled by his core belief to never give up before the miracle happens. Clayton, welcome to Mornings in the Lab. We're looking forward to this conversation.
Clayton Townsend joining me this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Let's bring him up on stage. What's going on, Clayton?
Good morning. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you loud and clear. How are you today, man? How are you?
Oh, I am doing great. I woke up. It's not 22 degrees outside, and I'm kicking. How are you?
Awesome. I'm fantastic. Thanks for hanging out this morning. Hey, what did you think of the guy RKing folks there in New York City? I saw you giggling there in the green room.
Let me tell you something. If you start walking imaginary dogs with your buddy there, I want in. But I already do that RKO thing to my kids across the house, so I might have to bring it to the streets. You never know.
How many kids you got, Clayton?
Oh man, enough to build a football team, but we're at 5 right now, and we're dead there.
Dude, 5, eh? I gotta ask, what's the spread of the 5?
Oh, I take the over under usually, but no, it's 4 boys, 1 girl, and the girl's the youngest.
Holy smoke-a-ronies. Jimmy, let's bring Johnny up on stage here. John, we got Clayton Townsend and his 5 children, John Andersen. He's a busy man.
Clayton, what's up, brother?
What's up, John? How are you?
I'm hanging in there, baby. I'm excited to talk to you.
Good. I'm glad you left your crutches behind, man.
Yeah, they're sitting right there. But you know, they're here to serve a purpose for me. For whatever reason, I needed to have those in my fucking armpits for a week or two to notice some things I wasn't paying close enough attention to.
There you go.
Hey, John, so Clayton Townsend is a mental health advocate, recovery mentor, content marketing wizard, and yes, a Texas roofer. 3 years sober. Clayton, let's get into it, man, because our audience leans into it. I got to be honest, when I saw your profile and we look for great guests, your story made me lean in and walk very rapidly to you. 3 years sober. What got you there, brother?
Oh man, it's been a fight. If it was easy, then I think everybody would do it. I tell everybody I've been attempting to kick the shit for about 6 years. I finally got, I guess, good at it about 3 years ago. What brought me there was either I could, let me put this lightly. They said I had 3 options. Either I could get locked up, covered up, or sobered up. I've already been locked up multiple times. I don't want to die because I have a wife and kids that depend on me. So the only other option I had was to clean up my act and get my head out of my ass and go ahead and get sober. And that's what I did.
Wow. That's quite the statement. So first of all, I want to say thank you for being vulnerable and sharing it with us. It takes a lot of courage to share that. Trust me. You're talking to 2 guys who have our own struggles, Clayton, and this show has been really the driving force for guys like myself, like John, and guys like yourself, where we invite everybody. Hey, man, if you're going through the journey of life, every single day, it's free. 8 o'clock Eastern time. Come hang out with us. We're trying to put good conversation, good topics, inspiring people on the stage to help move ourselves all forward. When you were faced with those 3 choices, I'm going to ask you what would seem like an obvious question, but why did you choose the obvious answer? Why did you sober up?
Oh, well, I mean, it's an obvious answer because, of course, I didn't.
But is it though?
No, it's not. It's not. So let's dissect that just real quick.
Yeah.
So the thing is obviously I'm still here because I'm talking on the grateful Keith Blue show here at 8 o'clock in the morning. But at the end of the day, it wasn't easy. I mean, at one point, if you would have told me I would have been sober and talking on podcasts or doing whatever else I'm doing, I'd tell you you're a damn liar. I thought I was going to be a serial criminal, in and out of jail. The life I was living, the way I was moving, I wouldn't have been surprised if my life was taken from me. And so the only reason I would say, besides God's will of me getting sober, was my wife. She kind of came in and she told me, either you can get your shit together or I'm going to get my shit out. And so that means I'm taking the kids, I'm taking the house, I'm taking the cars. If you want to kill yourself, I'm done. I'm exhausted. Either you get it together or I'm gone. And, you know, being a boy dad for majority of my life, you know, raising boys, I kind of always, I guess we always have to play the role of being superior or strong, or, you know, don't cry, rub some dirt on it. And then my daughter was born, and next thing you know, it's unicorn parks, dandelions, and tutus, and it softened me like a Target pretzel. And that's kind of what kind of sat me down, and it made me realize that there's more to life than drinking and drugging and chaos and everything else.
Johnny,
you know, there's a difference when when someone comes to you and says, look, you know, I'm doing what's best for me. Do whatever the fuck you want, but I'm doing what's best for me. It's very different when someone says, you know, you need to do this because you're not healthy, you're not this, and you're not that. When someone says, look, forget all that. I'm taking the kids. I'm out of here. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. You want to go do that? It's your choice. That there's a different type of message that's sent with that, because so many times, you know, we approach someone with, well, you know, you're not this and you're not that. And the person doesn't want to hear that shit, you know, yeah. But when you approach them like, I know what's best for me and you're not, then it fucking makes you look in the mirror.
Yep. It's the boy who cried wolf syndrome. You know, it's one of those things that everybody says, well, today I'll stop, tomorrow I'll stop, or, you know, if you just stay, I'll stop, or whatever it may be. That's their advice to get them to stop. But it's just a method of them pretty much delaying the process. It's the boy who cried wolf, the boy who cried wolf. And then us as drug addicts or alcoholics, we get mad when they don't believe us because our credibility doesn't check out. And that's one thing that I've had to learn over the span of a couple of years doing this and getting sober and taking all the therapies and doing this and doing that, that in reality, we need to start learning how to take some accountability for our own shit.
Yeah. Hanging out with Clayton Townsend this morning with Keith and John on Mornings in the Lab. Clayton's a mental health advocate, recovery mentor, and content marketing wizard. And yes, he's a Texas roofer. Johnny would say roofer. Hey, Clayton, I saw a post yesterday. It really struck me, and I want to lean into it and get some comment from you. And I want you to feel comfortable talking about this because I in my experience, I'll speak on behalf of in Keith and John's experience. Folks come on the show and don't know how they should deal with faith. We welcome it because we welcome anything. We welcome a human's whole. We don't welcome only part of a human. And what I've learned is that humans are many different things, and faith is something for some folks. But Clayton, I hated God. I blamed him for everything I lost. My twin brother being murdered. My best friend having his life taken right in front of me. I didn't grow up in church. I didn't pray. I didn't believe. But now here today, Clayton Townsend, you lean into faith, you lean into God. Tell me why.
Well, man, at the end of the day, or the start of the day, whatever you want to call it, it's I was super angry at everybody and everything because I didn't want to accept the fact that what my part was doing in everybody else's life. I was so quick to judge. I was so quick to point one finger, even though four more are pointing back at me. You know, my brother was murdered. You know, my best friend died in front of me. You know, I'm a drug addict. I'm hopeless. I'm, you know, all these things. And it's like, you sit there and you look up at the sky and you're like, why me? Why do you keep taking everything I love? Why'd you make me a drug addict? Why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? And so at the time, it makes you start to question his integrity. When the whole time he was just waiting for me to throw my hands up and let him put his hands on me. And it's one of those things, for me, at least per se, that when I started leaning into my faith and realizing that it was me all along and not him, great things really happened.
You know, to summarize that, I got a saying that I repeat to myself often, kind of summarize everything that can happen to us. You know, your situation being obviously a tough one with all the loss, but life happens for us, not to us. And as soon as you grab a hold of that, it's a different perspective. You know, all that fucked up stuff that happens, it's there for a reason. But more importantly, you know, we have to take accountability for everything, the good and the bad, and what happens around us, and realizing it's like when people say, oh, I want more for my life. Well, what you just asked for is some fucking bigger challenges. Yep. So when they show up, don't fucking run away.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's the biggest thing is I was so used to numbing and drinking and drugging that anything that went to shit, I ran. Just because it doesn't, I wouldn't say makes me less of a man, but it just didn't want to make me to be a person of conflict in that current situation. And that's kind of why a lot of people, me, I'll speak in I sentences, me, why I coped with dope and while I chased the high and everything else, because I didn't want to sit in the shit. I didn't want to face my problems head on. I didn't want to take accountability because all I wanted to do is make excuses, get high, and figure out what I was going to do next. And so at the end of the day, I think if more and more people sat in their shit and stopped running from their problems, because what are your vices? Drinking, drugging, food, intimate.
Oh, did we lose him, Johnny? I think he froze up on us.
I thought that. I didn't know if that was me or not.
I think no. I think we got Clayton Townsend and joining Keith and John here this morning on Mornings in the Lobby. You get a little frozen up there. I see him there, Jim. We'll bring him back up there on the screen. Thanks, Clayton. We got a little frozen there. You were saying, Clayton? Sorry.
Oh no, it's I don't know where we kind of left off, but I'll give a rundown here. It's one of those things that I think more and more men, women, kids, everybody else needs to learn to sit in their shit, and I mean that in this term. Stop running from the problem. If we started facing the problems head on and nipping it in the butt right now, we wouldn't have the problems tomorrow. And at the end of the day, I feel like our society is very misguided because of the thing that we're talking on right now: the internet, social media, stigma. A lot of these kids, they look at social media and they say, well, such and such can do it, because just can do it, but the demographics are very different. And so at the end of the day, I think if people kind of took a step back and realized, okay, and they did three things. They asked themselves, where did they play their part? How could I have done it better? And what should I do next? Slow down and realize, what is really going on, that people would get a lot further.
Yeah. Clayton, so one of the things that Keith and John largely subscribe to, my life, John's life, and even guests that have come through the lab here, is this idea of non-negotiables, morning non-negotiables that help us get through our day, especially through loss and through tough times. We've had some fellows that have had severe loss and have leaned into their morning non-negotiables to get them through their days. What do you do to help you battle sobriety, help you battle bad choices? What do you do to help you battle self-sabotaging behavior that we know still is in front of us on a daily basis? Clayton, what are some of the non-negotiables for you that you lean into every single day? Is it faith? Is it the gym? Is it fitness? Your kids? What is it, Clayton?
It's walking imaginary dogs on trapezes for sure. Or RKO and people in Times Square. No. So my days used to be chaos, so I tried to make them as simple as possible. This is my morning ritual. Especially now that I have the freedom to kind of do as I please. It's I wake up, and the first thing I do besides take a good old pee is pray. And then to kind of unpack what my brain has and everything else after that, I go be a service to my wife and my kids, get them ready for school, network with them and ask them, hey, listen, like, is there anything you're feeling bad? I'm real big into leaning into emotion with my kids, because if you don't, that's what turns them into I don't take this lightly, school shooters or anything else like that. I want them to be able to talk freely with me, and feel safe to talk freely with me. But my days consist of, service work, real work, helping people, whether it's changing their house or changing their sobriety date. But the really thing that keeps me grounded is my faith. And I fell in love with the game of baseball, man. I eat, sleep, and breathe it. And that's what kind of keeps me grounded.
What do you do with baseball? You watch it or do you play it?
Oh, a little bit of both. But no. So my kids, actually, I played baseball my whole life, up until like high school, when I realized that drinking and drugging was so much cooler than swinging a bat and hitting a ball. So I kind of fell out of love with it. And then one day my son, he was like, Dad, I want to play baseball. And so put him into baseball. And then I kind of got the itch, the sneeze. I started off as one of those dad coaches screaming and yelling, Tommy, hit a home run, and Then I kind of channeled that and started learning, how to properly maneuver. And then I kind of fell in love with coaching. Fast forward to today, we're now 5 years into coaching. I'm the director of the Special Olympics for my city. I coach the special needs program. I manage 4 different teams for a select team, including my son's team. I just took a team from pretty much last in their division to 10th in the state, 19th in the nation. End up playing baseball on TV, Puerto Rico, the whole 9 yards, strictly by service work. Preaching the word of God to these kids, and it's been phenomenal.
You mentioned special needs, Clayton. Are your children special needs?
This is kind of how I got into it. So out of 5 kids, 3 of them are my biological, 2 are my bonus bubblegum kids. I love them to death. I've been in, one of them's 9 and one of them's 6. Tripping Beckham, Trip, my 6-year-old. Sometimes because he's crazy. But my 9-year-old, he's autistic. He's low spectrum, so it's not very. Hats off to the people with high spectrum or nonverbal kids, but the low spectrum aspect of it is the fixations, the uncontrollable emotions, and everything else. And so I didn't understand it when I got into my relationship. I thought it was just being bad or having a tough day. And so I wanted to educate myself with it, and so I started digging deep into it. And then next thing you know, my wife became a registered behavior therapist so she could understand it better. And then I found when I started coaching baseball, there was 2 kids that came. They were twins, and both of them were born. They were deaf, but they didn't let their disability stop them. So I learned sign language so I could teach them baseball and talk to them in the whole yards. And I kind of fell in love with coaching kids, just because I was very misguided as a kid. I had no structure. If I didn't want to go to school, I didn't have to go to school. I started drinking and partying at 12 years old, and my parents didn't tell me nothing. And I wish if I had that outlet, or that positive role model as a child or a positive mentor, I felt like a lot of things would have been different growing up. And so I really like to lean into my youth and just kind of saturate them with knowledge, fun, everything else that I can.
Yeah. Johnny?
That's cool, brother. And when, somebody say low spectrum, I don't know if this is true, but I heard that we all have a little autism in us.
Yeah.
And the way you describe your boy, I thought, fuck, man, that sounds like me.
Me too.
Yeah. Hey, Clayton, one of the goats recently said over last week, the goat being Tom Brady, he explained that his mental edge was about practice, not game day. And I want to put this on the table for us. Jimmy, let's run this clip here for Ken. I want to just run the clip here for a couple seconds here, Jim.
You need to maximize your physical, your mental, and your emotional. And we're talking about physical, you're talking about talent, which is great. And that's a great bar to set. You need to have the height, the weight, the speed, the ability, the physical ability. But then you need, to me, the ability to learn, process information, take in lots of information to be able to apply it. Take what you're learning from a meeting room out to a field. And then you need to bring a competitive stamina to practice every day to be your best. And I was talking with my friend earlier this week, and he was like, well, what separated you on the football field? And I was like, I think there was part of me that was a psychopath out there, because I was extremely hyper competitive every day. I didn't feel like, okay, let's get to Sunday, and then now it's the time.
Jimmy, let's cut that. So I wanted to lean into that because I lean into Clayton battling self-sabotaging behavior, being a daily psychopath to make good decisions, the mental struggle of that. I go through it. John has gone through it. My wife and I were talking about it yesterday. I try to get to bed before, like around 8-9 o'clock, because after 8 o'clock, my self-sabotaging behavior, Clayton, just starts fucking my life up, man. And it really struck me because I got to be a psychopath. And I'll be honest with you, Clayton, I've learned a lot of this from Andersen, hanging out with Andersen, because Andersen, you don't know John's story. John's has battled opiates. He's battled addictions his whole life as well. We both were the fat kids growing up. So I certainly cannot relate to some of the challenges that you have gone through, but just this idea of being a psychopath daily, not to make bad decisions. Talk about that, Clayton.
Man, that's a lot to unpack there. So I think what I got from Tom Brady is he can say that because he's got a lot of rings and a lot of money. But at the end of the day, I'm just kidding. At the end of the day, there's things that are swept underneath the rug that people don't talk about. There's resources out there to prep yourself for any given day or any given thing. What I've learned through CBT, which is cognitive behavior therapy, and dialectical behavior therapy, is setting healthy boundaries. Because if I don't set healthy boundaries from the get-go, then excuse my French, I'm fucked from the start.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, I was so used to being a yes man. I was so used to going to the point where I was insane. I actually just took myself out of a role that I was there for 2 years with this company because I was going insane. And I didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel from being insane. And that's why now I keep my Captain Insano show no mercy to myself. Just because I kind of cherish my insanity now. But at the end of the day, I think work ethic, proper boundaries, or even communication is huge. I think if I didn't tell Keith, or if I didn't tell John or anybody else that I'm feeling some type of way, y'all would never know. But they say when we recover loudly, we help those who suffer silently. Be vocal, scream it, yell it, tell the world, whether it's addiction, whether it's your foot hurts, get it out. And I think the difference between somebody like Tom Brady and someone that's still struggling is Tom Brady put actions to his words, and these people are still talking about it.
Well, I would invite you to look so take this with love. But I would invite you to look in your own mirror, because it sounds to me like 3 years ago you took actions too. Because it sounds to me before those 3 years you fucking talk until your wife said, "Hey brother, what are you doing?" And then you took action. So I would invite you to not idolize Brady and idolize yourself. Idolize your own mirror and idolize the decisions that you have made and you continue to make every single day for yourself and for your children, because clearly you are taking actions as well, Clayton Townsend. So do not dismiss that, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I appreciate that. People need to stop having diarrhea of the mouth, I guess, per se, and start.
Well, no, but I think sometimes, Justin, Clayton, we justify because of somebody else. And I heard you, and I mean this with love. I'm like, no, this is not a Brady. This is about you. You made a decision 3 years ago, and you still do it every single day. And I know for a fucking fact, there are days in your life you struggle today, just like I do and John does. Right? So with you leading with actions, and I'm also thinking there's days you fall down, but you got to get up again, man. You got to get up. Right? So, Townsend, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate your story. 3 years sober is a huge milestone. It's fucking huge, brother. It's huge.
Thank you, man. Thank you. And I appreciate you letting me come on there. And let me just say this. I love what you told me. But let me just end with this. 3 years ago, I wouldn't have been taking any of this call lightly. I would have been defensive of every bit of the mode.
Really? Yeah. Talk about that.
I would have been, you couldn't tell me nothing. I thought I knew everything and I was God's gift to earth. Just because I was so blind at the fact that people were willing to help me. I didn't, when I mean help me, mean constructively, not destructively.
Yes.
I think if a lot more people did normal conversation like this, whether it's through this kind of platform or even in real life, and took maybe one or two things that people tell them, they would get better in life. I talk quick and fast. Maybe it's just the drugs getting out of my system still 10 years, 3 years later or whatever. But at the end of the day, I know you mean no harm. I mean no harm. John means no harm. But sometimes for people that are new into the space, they set them up for failure because they set unrealistic goals. They just got to take it one day at a time. If you would have told me 4 years ago that I would be in a 3,000 square foot house with the trucks and cars and doing the right thing, I'd tell you you're smoking crack yourself. And so I really respect that, and I'm grateful that you let me come on today.
Yeah, well, I hear the love you have for others. I'm yearning for you to keep loving yourself, Clayton.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I really am. And I got an invitation for you. Monday to Friday, Keith and John get up every single day live, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Our purpose to help men get up, make good decisions, and help prevent self-sabotaging behavior. As you go through your morning, I invite you to turn our show on. I invite you to join the comments. I invite you to chime in. I invite you when you're having some of those self-sabotaging roads that are coming on you, I invite you to send me a text and say, hey man, there's a self-sabotaging road in front of me. Send me a text. And I mean that sincerely. I'm serious.
No, I got you for sure.
All right. And listen, how can folks connect with you, find you, and engage with you and hire Clayton Townsend?
Oh, so you can find me on LinkedIn, Clayton Townsend, or Your Texas Roofer, on YouTube.
Oh, I think we lost him.
Dropped him off again.
We dropped him. Jimmy, we'll get him out of here. We'll reconnect with Clayton Townsend. We're going to do, we'll drop him out of here. We'll reset an hour here. Johnny, let's do a lifestyle tip with you. We'll come back hour 2, reset, and have a good conversation. Jimmy, let's do it.
All right, we are almost to Christmas. It's crazy. Man, the time goes by fast. Here's the thing. So many of you guys, you fall off during this time. And I've got a simple remedy that can be really, really helpful when it comes to staying on track. Now, sometimes it's not about, staying on track to worry about making progress from it. You just want to stay on track so you're not moving backwards, or you're not, you want to feel good about yourself during these holidays rather than feeling like a glutton and feeling disappointed because you did it again this year. So the concept and the tip is very simple. Make a plan. Every day when you wake up, make a plan. And many of you guys, it's the structure of your life that's allowed you to, get into a good groove. And now with the holidays here, especially this week, that structure kind of gets put to the wayside. So make a plan, but make a plan to succeed. Because if you don't make a plan, there's a good possibility you actually did make a plan to fuck up. Now, whatever your definition of success during this time, that's your definition. But be intentional about this. If you're one of those people who continually does this to yourself every year, this is the week it happens to most people. Make a plan. When you wake up, decide, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm not going to do. And just by making those decisions intentionally, you'll be really, really happy with the success you'll have with carrying out your plan for your version of success for this holiday season. Rock and roll.
All right. Welcome back to Mornings with Clayton Townsend. I see you out there, brother. Thanks for joining us on the show here this morning. We'll send a text back to you a little bit later today. Hey, hour 1, we just wrapped up. We are moving through the morning loop. Yes, we talked about who you really are when the money and attention dry up. We talked about the Tyler Chase story trending this weekend, about the young man who is unfortunately found some rough times in life. We watched and we talked about the fitness world finally catching up to reality. Yes, Lauren put it out there. She says that it is actually about, where's her comment? You're looking for Lauren here. It says, simply ask yourself, do you want to be able to get off the toilet when you're 80? Then start lifting weights. No fad. She's right. The fitness industry is all about sustainability now. Oh, no shit. Sherlock. Yes. And let's see what else we get after here, guys. We talked casual. We processed the fact that AGI may be knocking sooner than anyone's comfortable with. We talked dumb shit award. We talked dumb walking. Jimmy, coming up in the second hour, we're going to get that cannabis conversation on the table that I missed in the first hour. So we're going to get into deep dive. We're going to talk about compromising. Yes, we are compromising with relationships. And we got a conversation coming up in the second hour as well about some new research about cannabis that might be helpful to us as well. Here, where is it here as well? So, Jimmy, let's get in deep dive. Compromise. The conversation starts right now, this morning on Mornings in the Lab.
Quick poll. How many guys here think compromise means you shut up, nod, and slowly die inside? Because that's not compromise. That's emotional foreclosure with a shared Netflix account.
And before anyone panics, no, healthy compromise is not she wins, you cope. That's not maturity, that's avoidance.
If one person bends every time, that's not teamwork. That's resentment with better lighting.
And resentment always shows up later. Side comments, tone, passive aggression. Suddenly you're fighting about dishes from 3 years ago.
Real compromise means both people give a little, protect what matters, and don't violate their own values just to keep the peace.
Which brings us to the question every guy avoid until it's too late. When do you bend, and when do you hold the line? Keith, John, let's talk about the 60-40 rule and how to compromise without losing yourself in the process.
I thought I'd put this on the table, brothers. We get into the holiday season here. Compromise and figuring shit out with families and relationships and partners. And I've learned a lot from you just hanging out with you for the last couple of years. You know, it's about getting the results that are best for us instead of winning. Who wants to be right or not right? But John, compromising in a relationship is basically we both matter and we're building a third thing together. And it's not about keeping score. First comments on the art of healthy compromise, John Andersen.
Well, I try to look at the situation like, but first, the first example that comes to mind that kind of demonstrates what I'm trying to explain is years ago. I don't know when it was. Tara and I were car shopping.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I had this idea of what I wanted to buy. It was like, because at that point I'd been really happy with the Mercedes I was driving, and I had this one that I wanted to buy, and she was like, you know, why don't we go test drive some Porsches? And I was like, okay. I mean, it'll be fun, you know. And never been a huge Porsche guy myself. I mean, I like Porsches, but I'd never owned them.
Yeah.
And so we went out that day and we went and test drove the Mercedes and the Porsches. And I test drove, and then she got behind the wheel. She test drove, and you know, they're all fucking nice cars. Jesus Christ, you know.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so she gets behind the wheel of one of the Porsches, starts driving. She starts to fucking cry.
Oh,
right. Oh. And it was like she was like really fucking like clearly touched something in her. I was like, okay, you know, I'm not getting any of these fucking cars crying. So clearly this is, you know, bigger to her than it is to me. So when we got home and she said, what do you think? I said, okay, you know, we'll get Porsches.
Interesting.
Yeah, because in that moment I realized that the impact on her, it's not really what I wanted, but I mean, I wasn't, again, I mean, how fucking wrong can you be with this? It's not like you're gypping yourself by picking a fucking Porsche, but it was so much more important to her. It was so much, at that point, it was so easy to give her what she wanted because it wasn't a fair compare. If I felt really passionately strong about something, it would make me cry. Okay. That's different than if I'm just like, yeah, this is fucking great. These are nice cars. I think identifying the situation to each person and taking that into consideration is something that people miss because they're so focused on what they want, not really paying attention to how important it may or may not be to the other person.
I would invite you to retell that story without the name brand of the vehicles because the name brands actually don't matter. What really mattered was when her emotion came to you and you saw that and you're like, okay, this is important to her, which is important to us. Boom. And you're like, it's not as important to me as it is to her, which equals us. So then you acquiesced with your wanting to get the Mercedes or the Porsche because it could have been a fucking Honda or Chevy. It didn't really matter. When Terry expressed emotion that it was important to her, there's that 60-40. You step back like, okay, yeah, this is good for her. It's good for us. And there's a wonderful compromise in that. You didn't put your foot down. It wasn't this, bah, bah, bah. It was her signal gave you what you needed for that decision, right? Basically.
Yeah. It was just like this. For me to, because when it came right down to it, I was the one writing the fucking checks.
Yes.
You know? And she knew that, you know, this wasn't a fucking, And not like because I write the checks that I make all the decisions.
I know what you mean.
Comes
I know what you mean.
to it. And so she very well understood that what I decided was going to happen, and she was okay with that.
Yes,
right?
yes.
But it was like, she was just, I think if people would, rather than being so worried about winning or being right or getting what they want, if they would actually feel the energy. I mean, that was pretty easy energy for me. I was
waiting for you to say that word. I was trying to find an emotion, energy. Exactly. Her energy gave you the answer.
And it was really easy. It was a fucking pretty easy fucking signal for me to fucking pick up.
Yes.
It was when it was that fucking clear, I'd have been pretty fucking, I don't know. It just to me that I would have not felt right because it wasn't that important to me.
Yeah.
Clearly it was so important to her. So, okay, let's get what you want, baby.
That's it. That's exactly it. I was talking with Sophia Grant as well. We got Sophia on stage here. Sophia, in a fight, how do you tell a real need?
Separate safety and values from convenience. If missing it makes you unsafe, disrespected, or betrayed, it's a need today. State the need plainly, then offer 2 flexible ways to meet it. If you can swap methods, it's preference.
It's interesting because it wasn't her need. It wasn't Terry's need about the Porsche. Her emotion, her energy suggested her preference, and it helped you guys make the decision. It wasn't even really a compromise. It was you guys going through the decision process together and leaning into the emotion and the energy. And I love that because I think, to your point, that's often missed with couples. It's that if it's not black and white, it's what about the energy and the emotion of the thing?
Well, then I also too, I saw this massive opportunity.
Yes.
To have like some fun with, cause we're going to buy 2 of them.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But finding the right cars is the problem because, it's like we have, okay, well, I want a specific car. So I tell my broker, this is the car I want. He's got to go find it. So we were test driving cars we weren't going to buy. That makes sense. Those specific cars.
Yes.
And so anyway, so I thought, God, this gives me an opportunity to surprise her. Because one of the cars that we're going to get was like the one that she really fucking always wanted. And so I thought, God damn, when they locate this car and it gets delivered, this is a massive opportunity for me to give her like the coolest fucking surprise.
Well,
and surprising her she would have been very fucking happy and, done with the Mercedes surprise too.
Yes.
But this was just like, I could see how much emotion. I was like, this is good. I mean, there's so much more to this, And so I don't know. I just kind of saw it as like even bigger than just the decision. It was like even more opportunity to give her some like major joy in some circumstances.
Well, what I like about this too is that you guys talked about real options. You didn't talk about ultimatums. Preston, question for you, Preston. Preston, what separates real options from an ultimatum dressed up as an option?
Real options are choices you can accept without punishment. If only one answer keeps peace, you're issuing demands there. Say you're non-negotiable once, then propose a 2-week trial and a review date. That turns pressure into teamwork fast enough.
It's after that decision was made and you guys got the Porsche instead of the Mercedes. What did you learn from that whole experience? That it was was that one of those times where it just was the right thing for it to happen?
That's a great question. What did I learn from that? I mean, I think what I learned more than anything was to be, receptive to the ones that I love around me and recognize, God, if something is really, there's all these different totem poles of importance that we have as individuals. And start to be a little more cognizant of my loved ones' totem poles of importance.
Yes.
So, because sometimes you can like the when I surprised her with her car, I did it to where she thought she was going to answer the door to some fucker that wanted her to sign papers over an issue over a dead uncle. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
So she opens the fucking door and there's that car sitting there. And she's like, literally got fucking like her knees fucking buckled. She went to the ground, and I was like, this, just the idea of the fact that she was so connected to it. It just made, that's kind of what I realized. Like when I said, this is going to be fun, I realized this is such an interesting spot in her totem pole. I can give her a lot with just this little decision.
Well, and what I like about it too, John, is that it wasn't really about a compromise, right? Like you guys did not, there was no unhealthy compromise. You guys clearly, as you spoke, there was boundaries. It wasn't, hey, we're not rushing out to buy a Bugatti. There was boundaries like, okay, Mercedes / Porsche. So maybe there's some similarities there, but there was no pressure. You didn't guilt anybody. It wasn't, hey, Terry, nah. So Sophia, here's a question for you. What's the fastest sign that compromise is healthy versus you shrinking?
Healthy compromise leaves you calmer and respected after the talk. If you feel smaller, tense, or resentful, stop immediately. Ask what you changed and what they changed. If you can't name both, you're sacrificing, not compromising right now.
I would invite us to stop thinking about compromising, Johnny, and lean into collaborating, right? And I'm going to go back to you and Terry. You guys, whether you knew it or not, you collaborated on that decision with that vehicle, right? And it wasn't a, each talking equally to collaborate. It was you guys were going down it. Her emotion drove your energy, helped you go, okay, this is where it's going to be, and that was the collaboration. And you didn't even know it as you went into it. So collaborating might be better than compromise.
Yeah, because I think as I sit here and I think of that word compromise,
I don't like it. I don't.
Compromise, I think, is a word. I think Terry and myself, we probably spend more time or more of our decisions is, I think that she recognizes when something's really important to me and she's happy to just step back and let me have it, even though she might be feeling it's kind of like what I did with the cars, right? We're registering what's important to the other, and I'm trying to think, I'm sure we've compromised at something kind of, because compromising is kind of like, look, we both got to suck a cock. Let's suck cock equally.
Yep.
I don't want 4 inches more in my mouth than you got in yours. That's not a compromise.
I'm with you, man. I'm not a fan of that word compromise, John, because if I think about you and I, let's put Terry and Lauren outside. Let's just talk Keith and John. Like when I hear compromise, I feel like, well, if I'm compromising, John's winning. And John's like, well, if I'm compromising, Keith winning. And I'm not suggesting it's about our egos and big dicks. I would rather go, okay, man, what can we do that's going to make you satisfied? What can we do that's going to make me satisfied? Let's go forward. You know what I'm trying to say? I think it's a whole different way of looking at it. Instead of compromise, it's like, okay, let's collaborate on what are we both trying to get out of this? Well, Keith, I want this. John, I want this. Okay, great. How do we get there? Instead of the moment we walk to the table with compromise, it's the moment where there's this, I think our backs are up. It's like it's a negative kind of, okay, well, I got to compromise because John wants something, he wants something. And I don't know if that is, like Jack Duggan, collective contribution, collaboration, Johnny.
Well, I mean, I think compromise is great in business. Like if you're in business, sometimes you're negotiating and everything is aside. It's like, look, yes, we're gonna fight to this. In sometimes business there's a bit of a fight, a bit of a beef, whatever. Sure. I don't do it like that because I don't think it breeds the right relationship. But sometimes you're in a position where that you're not going to continue a business relationship with this person.
Yes.
So, okay, now I have to make a compromise so that we can both get out of here feeling like we equally got screwed.
Yes. Yeah. To use your term, we each got half the cock, to use your term.
Yeah, yes. We're each gonna, and that's a perfect place for compromise right there.
But I would even invite you to challenge that POV.
I'm not gonna collaborate sucking a cock with you, no matter how fucking hard you try to get me on your funny farm.
Well,
no fucking way. That's not a collaboration for me, dude.
That's fair. That's fair. I would.
There are certain things. It's not a collab. It's a compromise. No.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And maybe there are some places where there's no room for collaboration, and it has to be compromise.
Yeah, I want nothing to do with that cock on your funny farm. This is not. There's no way am I leaning into this with some open arm.
We're talking collaboration and compromising. How to compromise without losing your balls, gentlemen, with Keith and John this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. And we got somebody who's been absent from the lab for a long time. His name's Jack Duggan. Good morning, Jack. Good to see you out there, brother. Merry Christmas. Looking forward to getting back into having you hang out with us on a daily basis, Jack. Absolutely good time. Just the tip. And we, of course, have the bullshit professor joining us, Johnny. He says the illusionary superiority is a general cognitive bias where people tend to overestimate their own abilities and positive qualities compared to others. And then he says, in a relationship context, this translates to each partner genuinely believing they put in more effort, do more chores, or contribute more emotionally than the other person. Interesting conversation from Petro talking on compromising here this morning. I would even wonder, John, just before we go back to, I'm going to get into this, microdosing cannabis pauses Alzheimer's decline in an unprecedented trial. Going to put that in a quick second. I'm kind of hanging on what you said about collaborating in business or compromising, because I just wonder, put the other C word, being curious, if there's room to actually collaborate instead of compromise. Right. So even if it's negative, even if it's arriving at a decision where it's like, I want us to exit the barn through collaborating instead of through compromise. And I know you might disagree with that, but I wonder if it's just a way of getting more out of the conversation by actually going, this is going to be a collaboration.
All this sounds to me like is a way that you justify having that dick in your mouth. And
well, okay. That's fair. Yeah. Hey, justifying microdosing cannabis might pause Alzheimer's decline in an unprecedented trial. Results were dropped last week. Jimmy, let's run it.
Headlines are screaming that microdosing cannabis pauses Alzheimer's, which sounds huge until you ask what actually happened versus what people heard. This was a tiny trial, ultra low doses, no one getting high, and one cognitive test stayed stable. Important signal? Yes. A cure? Not even close. The real story isn't weed fixes Alzheimer's. It's that micro interventions might slow decline, and that's worth studying without lying to families.
So no massive breaking news here. Nothing. Nobody. I'm not suggesting anybody should change shit up. But Johnny, a small phase 2 clinical trial from Brazil suggests that, and why I put this on the table is because microdosing has been a topic I'd say in the last 6 to 8 months. It's kind of percolating up everywhere with microdosing GLPs, microdosing peptides. So the idea of microdosing is popular to folks. Well, now there's some research that's microdosing low doses of cannabis extract may temporarily stabilize cognitive decline in people with mild Alzheimer's disease. But, hang tight, everybody, it does not prove that microdosing cannabis cures or reliably stops. But what it actually did is that they did some random trials with 24 adults. So, John, a very small trial, 24 adults aged 60 to 80 with Alzheimer's related dementia, and randomly assigned them either THC or CBD. And what they found was that they had better scores. The benefit was limited to this cognitive scale, and they showed a slower gradual decline with folks' mental faculty over those that didn't. So again, not hyping this, just talking about continued research, John. Again, it's small, it's 24 people, but there's still no solid evidence that cannabis can prevent, stop, or reverse dementia, but we're researching it, Johnny. And, you know, we both have interest in this stuff. That's why I put it on the table here, man.
Yeah. I mean, there's no question. There's some teeth there.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we're researching stuff nonstop these days. Hey, before you go, did you know, Johnny, before you go? No, Jimmy, let's not do this. Let's do a did you know, Jimmy, instead. I want to do this one for Johnny instead. Johnny, the most attractive hobby a man can have. I was thinking about you with this one. According to 2,000 women, I found this one. Did you know about what do you think it is before Jimmy prepares this? What do you think it is? What do you think the most attractive hobby that women find attractive about men? One of them. What is it?
Did you know the most attractive hobby a man can have is reading? 2,000 women weighed in, and the answer was clear. Reading hit about 98% attractive. That number is insane.
It signals curiosity and mental engagement, not checking out.
Top 5, reading, languages, music, cooking, and woodworking. That's the list. It screams growth. Learn something, make something, build something, then repeat.
Women lose interest fast when it looks like addiction or escape.
If it isolates you and drains you, it reads as a red flag every time.
Big takeaway, be a man who learns, creates, and moves in real life.
Skill is visible, effort is visible, that's why it lands.
Start tonight, 10 pages, 1 lesson, then repeat daily. Turn off the noise, pick a craft, pick a book. That's your today's Did You Know? Back to Keith and John.
We know Terry is madly in love with you. You read your 1 page a day.
Well, that didn't start when we first got together. So I think what she really was attracted to is my imaginary dog.
I think what Petro's wife is attracted to him is he reads half the books. So maybe his wife only loves half of Petro because he only reads half the books. You know, Johnny, Petro has so forever Petro is going to be known to all of us here, including the community, that he only reads half the books, even Good Times half the book. He's half the book Petro, man. It's funny. And then you questioning him on the show on Friday, but only reading half the books. And he admits,
but he gave us a little correction. He gave us a little correction, though. He said, if I'm not getting anything out of it. So in essence, what he's saying is he's giving the book a chance to the halfway mark.
Super efficient, eh? He's like, nope, it's not good.
That makes a lot of sense.
I agree.
It's more fun to see he only reads half the books.
I know. Well, it's the same thing I'll say to Lauren. We put a TV show on that we're kind of testing out. I'll kind of give like the 15-minute rule, right? If it's shitty after 15 minutes, it's not going to get any better. We just fucking turn it off, right? And maybe it's the same with Petrol's books, right? It's like, okay, I read half the book. I'm not getting anything out of it. Then I'll continue, right? So, but the attractive hobbies, Johnny. So number 1 was reading. Number 2, learning foreign language. Number 3, playing a musical instrument, not including the skin flute. Cooking and woodworking. The most unattractive stuff, Andersen, the most unattractive stuff was
woodworking. That's a doozy. I would have never guessed that one. How do you go from playing a musical instrument to woodworking?
And then what women dislike? Obviously, the clubbing, drinking, and drug use. But the other one, Johnny, gaming or online activities that revolve around arguments, manosphere content, crypto, cosplay, highly online niche interests. Men, if you're looking to reconnect with your wife, go pick up a book. That might be or go start woodworking. What the fuck is it? 1980?
I don't know, dude. Woodworking, Jesus Christ.
Woodworking.
You know, but I will say, if you've ever done it, it's fun. Like, put a 4x4 on a fucking lathe and turn that into try to make a baseball bat. That's a fun project.
You know, I can't believe you just said that. I can't believe you actually just said that. As a young man, I did exactly that. I have a club. It's underneath my bed to this day. I made it in grade 9 woodworking class, and I made this little club. And as I've moved through my life, I've brought this club with me, and it sleeps underneath my bed because I always feel like if I need a club to hurt somebody in the middle of the night, I got my club. So I made it. I did exactly that. I learned how to, and I'm not the most, I can't build anything with my hands except digitally. So I'm proud of that club, John. I built a little mini club. I'll bring it on the show here to show everybody when I find it.
Yeah, I'd like to see your club. Let's see the club.
You'd like to see my club.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting you out of here. When you get out of here, where are you going next? What's going on today for you?
I am fucking taking a nap right now. So I was up till 10:30 with my oldest brother.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in a long time, and we don't get much time to just the two of us to talk. So this was one of those moments. You know, today's just a day where I'm with family. So it's like, this is the day where, going to bed on time, it would have just, I don't get these chances. So it's like, okay, this is the totem pole of importance is too high for these moments for me just to be strict with my bedtime. So I'm going to try to catch it up on extra naps today.
I love it. I love it. Hey, before you go, I got quickly, Jimmy, the 8 worst tech flops for 2025 as we walk Johnny out of here.
Every year, tech promises magic, genius assistance, and the future. And every year we end up frustrated, confused, and wondering who approved this.
2025 was special, though. The hype didn't just fade. It cratered publicly, expensively, and in front of everyone.
My favorite part is when billion-dollar disasters get called bold experiments after they completely ruin someone's day.
Same pattern every time. Flashy demos, zero real-world friction, and customers stuck stress testing somebody's ego.
Slapping AI on junk didn't make it smarter. It just made the failure louder, dumber, and way more expensive.
These weren't toys either. Companies, governments, and customers paid real consequences for chasing cool instead of useful.
So let's break down the 8 worst technology flops of 2025 and why smart people keep falling for dumb ideas.
Before you go, the Cybertruck, number 1, big flop 2025. Are we surprised? Are we surprised? Yeah, they didn't sell any of them. Yeah, Cybertruck would be the big flop. It's sitting back there. Well, and hey, listen, Ford making their announcement, they're moving away from EVs. I think it says enough. AI wearables have flopped. Sycophantic AI assistants have flopped, and enterprise Gen AI pilots have flopped. And robots, humanoid robots this year haven't made it yet. So I suspect we're going to see more humanoid robots in 2026. Actually, so
I didn't know that the truck flopped.
It hasn't sold very well at all. Yeah, it has not sold. Let's just be frank here. I think there's a lot of reasons for it, right? The politics of it, the politics of the guy who started the company, just the climate. There's probably a number of reasons why. And I would suggest, John, it's not just because of the truck. There's just maybe, and it's divisive. You either like it or you don't. There's so many reasons why it probably didn't do well. So, and it's not as black and white as I think we think it is. So,
yeah.
All right, so let's get you out of here so you can get yourself a nap. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning. I surely enjoyed the show. We're going to have a fun week with a lot of fun conversations. So lots of love from me to you. Get your nap in, and I'll be thinking about you all day, pal.
Have a good loop, my brother.
All right, buddy. All right, let's get out of here. Johnny. Nicely done, John Andersen, leaving the lab there. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. All right, we're back. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. We're into the last 30 minutes of the show here, guys. Boom, boom. Good to see you, Jack Duggan. We are coming at the Morning Focus and Community Corner. And hey, guys, the phone lines are open, 431-300-3005. Hey, Duggan, you want to join the show here? 431-300-3005. Come check in with us. Anybody want to join the show here right now? Let's bring you guys into the conversation. 431-300-3005. Love to hear what's shaking out there in the mornings in the lab community before we get into the Morning Focus conversation today and the Community Corner topic with Maya Reyes. Guys, love seeing the conversation happening in the comments here today as well. It has been a great conversation happening this morning within the Mornings in the Lab community. All right, Jimmy, let's get to the Morning Focus and let's keep the show rock and rolling. 2025 was the year we built it. Nation, we built it live.
Quick question. Did you actually build anything this year, or did you just talk about it really confidently?
Because 2025 didn't reward smart ideas. It rewarded the people willing to look stupid in public.
Drafts stayed drafts. Planning stayed planning. Meanwhile, the ones who went live took all the ground.
No edits, no hiding, no we'll launch when it's ready, just showing up and letting the work judge you.
And that's the part nobody likes. Live keeps receipts.
If you're still waiting for perfect, you already missed the window.
Strap in, fellas. Keith is about to break down why 2025 separated the builders from the spectators.
All right, guys. 2025 was the year we built it live. Yes. I got a few things I want to put on the table for you guys this morning. 2025 has been awesome. Whoo. Has it been awesome for you? And not in the highlight reel, fake gratitude, LinkedIn carousel kind of way. No. Awesome in the earned way. Because this wasn't the year of talking about ideas. This was the year we built them in public. We didn't chase virality. We didn't wait for permission. We didn't ask if the market was ready. No. What did we do? We showed up live every morning. Yes, and we turned conversations into something real in real time in front of all of you. And this year we proved something that most people still don't understand. And perhaps it sounds self-suffocating, but I don't care. Because consistency, nation, it beats hype. There's many people over the next few weeks that are going to hype up their resolutions. Good for fucking you. Yeah. I did this a year ago and the same thing. Oh, resolution. I'm going to get this done. Hype, 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 hype. Where's the consistency? Guys, the consistency beats hype. Ask our guest, Clayton Townsend, today. The consistency of being sober for 3 years is probably much better than the hype of trying to be sober. Think about that for a moment. Oh yeah, I'm going to be sober. I'm going to be sober starting on Monday. Really? I've been sober for fucking 8 years. Consistently. And hey guys, presence, it beats polish. And we fuck up daily on this show. We've been fuck ups this whole show here today. You guys probably didn't even see it. I saw it. Constant fuck ups. But it beats the polish. Damn right it does. You know why? Because of our consistency. Building the trust with all of you every single day. And here's the other thing. Live beats perfect every time. You guys want to know a secret? How many of you enjoy watching the bloopers when somebody fucks up live on television, the news broadcast? How about the guy over in Philadelphia last week who was caught with the live mic saying to the person down below, saying, hey, while you're down there, why don't you blow me? Yeah, he got suspended for a couple of days. But hey, we all enjoyed it. We all laughed at it. Yeah, he got suspended for a couple of days. But guess what? Everybody's talking about it because the live beats perfect every time. And here's the other reality. We built Mornings in the Lab into more than just a show. If you guys think this is a show, Duggan, dude, you've missed a bunch. This has become a place where men check in instead of checking out, where accountability isn't a buzzword, it's a roll call, where growth happens out loud, not in private. No, it happens out loud. And not in half the books that no one reads. We didn't just launch episodes. We don't just launch episodes. We've built a fucking network. Oh, Keith, you building a show? No, we're building a fucking network. It starts with Kindness Rising, Monday to Friday, 7:30 Eastern Time. January 8th, Brianna Boss joining us with a show. January 6th, John Krosky, Geraldine Spurnaway, Brooks Swadar, Keith Billis starting a show. February, Raphael Whitaker starting a show. So no, we just didn't build a show. We're building a network. And oh, hey, Duggan, have you met Sophia? Have you met Preston? Have you met Sterling? Have you met Maya? Have you met the Mornings in the Lab characters? We created rituals. We turned the morning into an operating system. And here's the part I am most proud of. We did it together with all of you, except for Duggan, because he hasn't been here. Fucking guy. I don't know where he's been. And this wasn't me broadcasting at you. No, it was us building this show together. How many texts have I received from Good Time? Hey, Keith, how about this? How about this? The great input from the great Dr. John Petrocelli. The great input from all of you, from Global, from Mike, from Holroyd. Real conversations, real disagreements. How about Keith and Johnny disagreeing over nicotine? Disagreeing over collaborating, disagreeing on who's going to suck the bigger cock. Yes, real momentum. And hey, I'll tell you right now, there's been many days that they were messy. But here's what's funny. There's a lot of folks right now, Neiman, that are still starting their first podcast, waiting for it to be perfect. When reality was, could you imagine if we were still waiting? We all wouldn't get to know each other right now. We all wouldn't have 2 years of relationship behind us. And I wouldn't be standing here kicking Duggan in the ass, keeping him accountable. I love you, Jack. You know I do, brother. I tease through love. And you know what? Some shows, oh yeah, some shows right off the fucking rails. Then there's some mornings we figured it out live because that is the point, nation. 2025 reminded me of something I forget for a long time. You don't need a massive audience to build influence. You need a committed one. You need a committed one like Mike Sullivan joining the show every single day, hanging out for 2 hours before the show even starts. You need a committed team like Adam Holroyd, who turns the show on, puts his headphones on and tunes in daily and puts his ears up and joins the chat when it's necessary. And nation, if you're here right now, if you've watched, commented, joined the conversation, or just listened quietly, You, nation, you helped build this. So yeah, 2025 has been so fucking awesome. But not because it was easy, not because it was perfect, but because we stopped waiting, you guys. And we started creating the future in real time. And honestly, I love doing these segments because these get me hyped up as well. And honestly, we're just getting warmed up.
Have you noticed how you keep dating the same woman with a different face, then end up in the same explosion every time? No healing, no intention, just raw attraction and vibes, then you blame drama like it came out of nowhere. At the same time, you're fighting your body with willpower, no systems, and a fridge that sabotages you daily. And at work, you're chasing respect with credentials while your character is quietly working against you. Today, we're breaking the loops men keep repeating in relationships, health, and life. Handsome Chief, let's talk about the how.
Hey guys, go open the phone lines up after the segment. Phone lines will be open right after the segment. You can join the show with us live right after the segment, 431-300-3005. Come join the conversation. Come tell me what you're shaking this holiday season. Duggan, come give me a call. Tell me what's going on out there. Or send me a text or leave me a voicemail after the show. And hey, if there's stuff you guys want us to talk about on this show, tell me. True story. Yes, tell me. Send me a text, send me a voicemail, or drop me an email, or come and join the Mornings in the Lab community because we would love to have your contributions help build this show as well. This is our show, nation, not my show. I just happen to be the shepherd that put my name on the show to get this thing started, but it's our show. It's everybody's show. So if there's things you want to talk about, you know what we talk about, put them in the table, and we'll get after it. All right, Community Corner. Boom, boom, boom. Why you keep dating the same woman with a different face? Well, John Griffin. Oh, yeah? John Griffin says many men repeat the same destructive pattern after a breakup or divorce. We avoid healing. We chase attention. We chase high attraction partners. We date without clear intention. The pattern? Well, we jump into new relationships to avoid the pain. We misread the intense attraction as compatibility, and we fail to define what we want. And yes, this amplifies women's anxiety and drama, and it creates chaos and more trauma. So nation, here's my invitation for you. Process that trauma first. Take time to debrief your marriage or your breakup and understand what happened. Stabilizing that emotionally before dating again. And guys, here's the question for you. What pattern are you repeating in every relationship because you refuse to heal first? All right, let's move over to Substack. Why only 2% of dads ever get lean. Yeah? Oh, man. This becomes a conversation. Why only 2% of dads ever get lean and how to join them. Jack Colson says most men never reach 15% body fat. Not because they're lazy, but because they rely on willpower instead of systems. Yeah. Fat loss, environmental problem, not a willpower problem. Junk in the house pushes you toward overeating. I got an idea. Fuck the 15%. Fuck the 10%. Fuck the 7%. Jack, I love you, man. I love your point. But I don't really care what you're saying here because it's actually irrelevant. Guys, go find some fucking interest. Don't get caught up on your 6%, 7%, 10% body fat. It doesn't really fucking matter, actually. Nope. It doesn't. Go read a book. That's what's most important. Apparently, you want to find yourself an attractive woman who loves you? Go read a book. Stop thinking about your 15% body fat. It don't matter. Sorry, Andersen. 10, 7, 6. Go read a book. Go do some woodworking. That's what might be more important than the body fat. True story. Hey, LinkedIn, your characteristics matter more than your credentials. Simon's son says true professionalism is how you treat everyone, regardless of title, status, and qualifications. I like this, man. Respect should not be conditional on rank or role. It should be given to all people as a reflection of character. People remember how you make them feel. more than your accomplishments. It's funny. I want to lean into this for a quick second. I like to jest with my friends and family and love and friends out there about titles and letters after names. And I certainly don't want to be dismissive of somebody's accomplishments. If you're a doctor, that's great. PhD, that's great. You put a lot of work into it, and I respect that. What I do find is sometimes that folks get too caught up in the letters after the name and too caught up in the letters before the name. And we forget that there's a human in the middle of the letters that might just enjoy kindness instead of actually the letters after or before the name. So whether you're a doctor or a BSc or a BA or whatever the hell those letters are, I've learned myself that really leaning into the kindness of the human and treating everyone, regardless of the title, regardless of their qualifications, being really grateful to them and being really humble might actually be better than worrying about what somebody's letters are. On the flip side, to those that have accomplished the letters, I love you. I've loved that you've worked so hard for those letters and those accomplishments. But sometimes in my experience, I've ran across people that think too much of those letters and put themselves above others that don't have the letters. And then actually what happens is the whole situation changes. Because now somebody in my experience who has letters behind their name treats somebody without the letters and they treat them differently. And that's when it gets pretty fucked up. So maybe we just want to respect everyone equally. Because at the end of the day, what I have learned is people remember me. And people remember this show, not because of the words that I've said, actually. It's because of how I make them feel. That's what I've learned. I've learned that by being humble, by being kind, by using respect, by not gossiping, not getting into the negative bullshit. I've learned that whether somebody's a doctor, not a doctor, a PhD, not a PhD, a BA or a BSc or whatever the hell they are, I've learned in my experience, and I've talked to and I've interviewed over 500 some odd people since I've started this show a couple years ago. The key? Just be kind. Just be kind. The problem is, Neiman, is that everybody wants to hack. Well, but Keith, there's got to be something more than that. You can't just be kind. That doesn't work. Are you the kind with the? Are you the doctor kind? No, I'm just Keith Billis, the kind. No, but how did you learn that? Did you go for your science degree? Did you become a PhD in kindness? No, I'm just kind. Oh, so hey, the qualifications that you have may open some doors, but your everyday behavior more than likely is going to determine how long you stay inside of those doors or how far you rise outside of those doors. So here's the question for you guys right now. Do people remember your resume or how you made them feel? Maya, what about you? Do people remember you because of what you've accomplished or because of how you've made them feel?
Here's the move. Stop blaming people you keep choosing. Fix the system, not the symptoms. Patterns don't break because you felt seen today. They break when you change what you tolerate tomorrow. Nation, do the work, tell the truth, and stop asking for a different outcome from the same behavior. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, guys. We're going to open some phone lines up before we wrap up here in about 10 minutes or so. If you guys want to join the conversation, 431-300-3005. I got to be honest, I'm debating in my head whether I'm going to say what I'm going to say next, and I'm probably going to say it because I'm talking out loud here. But before I get here, look at the comments here. I see some of the comments. We got Petro. Hey, Sullivan. Yes, that's Edison by Edmund Morris, same Pulitzer Prize winning author of the Theodore Roosevelt trilogy. Great books worth reading 100%. Yes, I'll take anything Petro says with a half a grain of salt. I'm kidding, John. John's joining us every Friday, you guys. So bring your bullshit stories to the table. And hey, guys, true story. If you're leaning into something you think is bullshit, you're like, is that bullshit or is that real? And I want to learn more about it. Please offer it up for me so me, John, and John can dig into it on Fridays in our bullshit session with John Petrocelli every single Friday. Good Time says, I grew up around law enforcement. They think they're better than all of us. You know what, Charlie? It's hard for me to disagree with you over that. Actually, I myself have been around plenty, And I have been made to feel, because I'm a little bit of an eclectic soul, perhaps I have been made to feel differently around law enforcement as well. So I can relate to that. All right. So I got all right. So this weekend, there was a big convention in the States. And I just feel like I need to kind of comment on it, actually. Fuck. So there's so many people that are so caught up in what's the words I'm looking for? More of you, most of you, actually. More of you, most of you are all the same. But the problem is there's a couple of words in between y'all that make y'all fucked up. What am I getting at? In North America, that's what we're going to do. North America. We tend to, that person doesn't like me because they wear a simple color. Oh, that person doesn't like me because here's what they do. Oh, that person doesn't like me because they have a different point of view of me. But what I'm learning and what I'm observing is through the hundreds of people that I have talked to in the last couple of years, is that most of us are all saying the same things. What I'm also learning is most of us are afraid to say things that others want to say. And I know I'm being somewhat cryptic because I'm trying to be respectful of everybody's time and attention right now. But man, we have such an opportunity, humans, to come together with love. And so many principles that we all agree with, but are having a hard time finding a way to get there. And part of me thinks the problem is because we all get into our silos. And we all just lean into what somebody says in the silo. But there were some thought leaders over the weekend that were putting some things out there which might make us go, interesting. Maybe there's some common sense to that. Maybe there is some to think about. I think my invitation for you guys as you go into the holiday season with your friends, your family, your neighbors, and leaning into the climate of the world right now is that listen closely to the person who's talking to you. You're probably both saying the same thing. You're probably both saying the same thing. If you owned something and you lived somewhere and somebody took it, wouldn't you want somewhere to live? Wouldn't you want a place to call your own? Wouldn't you want a place that... It's funny because, but those folks killed a bunch of people over there. Yeah, but these folks killed a bunch of people over here as well. But nobody's talking about it. I think I'm going to wrap this segment up, Jimmy, because I have a lot I want to say, but I want to make sure I'm articulating it correctly and properly. My invitation for you guys as you go through the holiday season is this. Don't jump to conclusions on what somebody is saying. Listen to them clearly. Because they're probably saying what you're saying. You just might be choosing different words. Humans have fears. Humans have love. Humans just want a place to live. Humans just want to feel safe. It's true. Tomorrow, coming up in the lab. Who do we got, Jimmy? We got somebody in the lab here tomorrow. I know we do. Tomorrow, coming up on the show, we have Anna Daphna joining us tomorrow in the lab. I'm excited to have that conversation with you guys as well. And we're going to keep bringing it right here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Looking at Global's comments here. Police are similar to a referee, enforcing rules and following training. The cop will test you to see if you obey. Pre-crime detector. Yep, true story. All right, Jimmy, Melissa, let's. I'm going to get to the outro here, guys, and start walking us out of the lab here as we get out of here today on the show. And that's it, guys. Thanks for spending some time with us this morning. We talked about who you are when the money and attention disappears. Go back to the top of the show, guys. Listen, there's a tragedy happened last week people were killed because, no, not because. There were people who lost their lives, maybe mental health situations happening. We talked about a fellow who's perhaps struggling through some mental health challenges as well. We never know who's struggling around us, guys, so lean into those around us. We had a real transformative story with Clayton Townsend that proves rebuilding is possible when you stop waiting for permission. We got into the deep dive. We talked about compromise and how to compromise without losing your balls with the 60-40 rule, and why healthy relationships don't require you to bulldoze people. We talked about some perspective shifts coming up. And if you enjoyed today's experience, guys, I would invite you to like the show, subscribe to us, and join us again tomorrow. Duggan, come back tomorrow, man. We're back here in less than 22 hours. I'm looking at you, Global. It would be a lot easier if someone wouldn't constantly be a bullier in chief. None of us like bullies. It's hard to argue with that. It's absolutely hard to argue with that as well. Nobody likes bullies. We just like progress. And yes, Duggan, how you make others feel defines who you are. True story. Duggan, we'll see you tomorrow. Holroyd, we'll see you tomorrow. Nation, we'll see you tomorrow. Mornings Alive with Keith, John, and Friends is out of here. Have a good one, guys.